Hi, everybody. I'm Fran Stevenson, and with me today is Jennifer Hatton, my partner in crime. And we have a special guest today, Girish Patel. She is of GBP Law and your contract buddy, and she has some great information to share with us today about disclosures and contracts for influencer campaigns. So, hi and welcome.
Thank you, Fran, and thank you, Jennifer, for having me. And I just love collaborating with you guys. So thank you so much.
Well, we are so excited about working with you because when we got our course started, Get the Right Influencers for Your Brand, the feedback from our testers was that we wish that there was a little bit more about disclosure and contracts. And we address it as a really important need. But we also said, we are not lawyers and you need to consult a lawyer. And then we found you and you're a lawyer. So woohoo!
Checking all the boxes.
Well, and really, I think it's the point at which a lot of people, particularly small businesses, might say influencer campaigns are too hard because they're risky. But you have seen this as a need and an opportunity when working with influencers. So can you start by telling us what you think the biggest mistake brands make when working with influencers?
Yeah, so, just to kind of, for a little background on the whole influencer marketing, initially when it first started, it was just, people thought, oh, it's just a blogger. Oh, it's just somebody who likes to take their own pictures and post it on Facebook or Instagram, right? It might have started like that, right? It might have started where people were just pouring their creativity into another channel in their life. And then people started getting traction because others started following them. And then some of the people's following became bigger and bigger and bigger because their voice was credible. They felt that they were genuine in what they were doing. They were authentic in what they were doing. So now these influencers have huge followings. And even if you don't have a huge following, even if it's just 1,000-person following, but if your followers do what you say, that's impact. And so absolutely. I feel like influencer marketing is another form of marketing. It's the 2021, 2020 new age marketing that's happening. Yeah. And so a lot of companies realize this. However, a lot of companies also realize that a lot of these influencers don't have enough confidence in what they're doing. They also don't believe in their business to be legitimate and official. And so I am here, and this is what I preach all day long, is that let's use law to make and position yourself for success. You're not just, and when you position yourself for success, you're automatically protecting yourself, you're automatically leveling up your business, and you're seeming more professional to the person across the table from you.
True.
And so, yeah, point. And so contracts is like one of the main things that helps you also feel professional in your own business. I can't tell you how many times I've had clients just be like, gosh, I just feel so much more professional and I feel so much more secure. Yeah. And that equals confidence. That equals I can conquer the world. And that's the positioning you want to feel mentally when you're about to walk into an office and pitching yourself, right? And so I think, first of all, influencers, bloggers, if you are in this business and you're making it, monetizing it and making it a revenue flow for yourself, you are a business. Don't underestimate what you are doing. That money is coming into your bank. And there's this big thing like, oh, charge what you're worth. Yeah, that's great. You're priceless. So it's hard to figure out that. But you also shouldn't underestimate the work that goes behind all the images that you put out there for another company. And so the effort that you take in taking photographs, staging the photographs, taking time out of your day to write about that particular brand, product or service that you're using, that is all time that is going in towards that one company you're working for. So make sure that you're proud of it and you're also saying, you know what, I need to get money for the time I'm spending into it. And that's where a contract comes into place, because a contract really defines the relationship between the people and the parties that are engaging in that business relationship. And so it defines the parameters of your relationship. It also defines what services you're providing them, the deliverables or the assets, as some people call them. And so that way you're able to also have a peace of mind that, okay, I know what I'm supposed to do. I know when I'm supposed to publish it. I know when I'm supposed to get my money. I know how many times, like frequency of publishing also. And I also know that what's mine and what's theirs. What I mean by that is intellectual property.
Yes,
that is
very important.
Huge.
Very important.
I have had, and you can stop me anytime. I can just keep on going. But I cannot express how important it is to define who owns what, and it needs to be in paper. It cannot be something that's one, not addressed, because then it just depends on who owns what. Two, if it's on paper, you need to know what you're signing. I've had a lot of influencers who are working for a particular agency, or they work for a particular brand, and the contract is coming from them, because that happens too now. Companies are seeing that this is a legitimate type of marketing. We need to have a contract. Right. But a lot of times what happens is that they take away your ownership of the content that you're creating for them.
Yeah, and many brands are used to doing a work for hire, where they contract with someone to create a brochure or, shoot photos for this and that. Whereas most bloggers come from the thinking about Creative Commons licensing, where I let you use it and under these terms, and you have to give me credit. So it is, what you're doing with your organization is really helping small businesses navigate the protections for both them and for the influencer. So can you talk a little bit about what your smart solution for small businesses in your Contract Buddy is all about?
Yes, absolutely. So what I've developed in your Contract Buddy, which is essentially digitizing contracts and making it accessible to everybody at a price point that's not going to break your wallet or your budget, but at the same time giving you a peace of mind. So I'm always saying, making legal a line item and not a panic attack. Because at the end of the day, because it's true, right? Like when people hear law, they're like, "Oh my gosh, can I just put my head in a hole somewhere?" And yeah. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to see it. And I don't want that. I don't want that, because law is so integrated in our everyday lives, in our everyday parts of the business. It's so important that you need to really embrace it and have a good grip on it also. And so a great start point is getting a contract template that is legitimate, that is pretty thorough and robust, and not just bare bones where you're going to get the cracks, and you don't want that. So like you said earlier, the contracts that I've created, especially for brand ambassadors and affiliates, one of the elements that I have in that contract is made for hire. And it is assignment of rights. Like, are you doing it or are you licensing it? So having all those options available depending on what kind of a relationship and conversations you've had with the company. Yeah. So all these templates are, they're templates at the end of the day, but you can absolutely make them fit your business, because there are a lot of different variants in it where you can delete, add, and so kind of customize it to yourself.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's one of my missions is in my business, is that I want to make sure that legal is accessible and it's not scary. And so I have various offerings in my business. So one of them is, of course, free. I have tons of free resources. Instagram, totally like free information flowing everywhere. I have a podcast that I provide a lot of free information on as well. Then I have your Contract Buddy, which is contract templates that people can access. And then I also have one-on-one through GBP Law.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about what you do, and we love your solution. And talking about disclosure, full disclosure, we are affiliates now for your Contract Buddy, and we have some specials for those contracts in our course, which we're really excited about. And we look forward to being able to share this with other small businesses, whether they're on the brand or business side or the influencer side. And so we're going to put some links down below so that you can learn more about our course, and you can also find your Contract Buddy. So thank you again for coming and talking to us today.
Thank you so much.